Thank you for joining. This is Martin Ho's press conference. We're previewing our trip to Bristol City this weekend, our last game in the group stages of the Subway Women's League Cup. We'll have questions in the room and on the online feed today. If you're joining on the online feed, please use the raise hand function to ask questions. No embargoes, and we'll start off in the room with the microphone provided. George Sessions.
Hi, Martin. Good to see you. Before we sort of talk about Bristol City, you've had a whole kind of week now to reflect on Sunday's very impressive 0-0 draw with Arsenal. I'm sure there's plenty of bits you did like, but having had a chance to real look back on it, what are your kind of reflections on the game?
Yeah, I thought in the first half, I thought we were good. I thought we broke through their pressure quite well. We progressed quite well through the pitch. We had moments where we could have been a little bit cleaner. But I thought if we're looking at performances against them previously and the performance from the previous game, we knew there had to be a reaction, and I certainly got that reaction with the ball and without the ball. And there's areas we can be better. I think second half we could have been a little bit more, maybe more proactive in moments. We had some chances within the game that you want to be more ruthless with. We need to be braver to take more shots and actually strike a goal. And that comes with a little bit of confidence and belief in the individual to want to do that, because everyone seems to want to assist or set up someone else. But no, I think we were deserved of coming out with a point, and maybe we could have nicked it at the end with a couple of chances we had and a couple of breakaways. But no, they responded in the way I expected. And the performance, I thought it warranted something out of the game.
And I know you're away this weekend, but you had nearly 7,000 at Brisbane Road. It sort of feels like you're really building a following. Do you kind of sense that as well, with that kind of connection with the fans and the team? The
fan base now, I think they've really bought into what the players are trying to do, what we're trying to do, the direction we're trying to go in. And I feel that's, even home and away, I think it's been really good, George. I think they've supported in numbers away. I think London City was a real big recognition for them, but I felt that was a real turning point for us in terms of from start to finish. They were behind the team. It was the first time I've really felt that we outsung, we out-cheered, we were louder than the home team, and I think we've showed that now in our home game against Arsenal, where we've had enough 7,000 in the ground, and it was a really nice feeling for the group of players and for myself to know the support is growing, the visibility is there, the connection with them is there, and what we want to make sure is that we can continue to bring those fans back to watch us more often, and new fans within that at the same time, that we can keep pushing the team forward, we can keep pushing women's football forward, and we can keep generating bigger attendances.
Sure, and looking ahead to this game, there's an injury for Charlotte this week. How is she, and what is the kind of general team news as well around that? Yeah,
the rest of the team are good. Just the long-term absentees. Araya Dennis has got a little bit of a knock, so she won't be available for the game. She'll be back in training next week over the international break. And then Charlie's had a little bit of a bump in training, and we'll have a little bit of a setback in the short term now, so we just need to make sure we help her with it. She was in today in good spirits and in a good place, so we have to just make sure we support her. But just a little niggling knee injury that we need to get right, and we'll do that over the next few weeks.
And just finally for me, in terms of Bristol City, they obviously had a taste of the WSL a couple of seasons ago, sort of a tough time in that. What do you make of them? Quite a lot of changes since then. Lauren's obviously left after a long spell there, but trying to sort of get back, moving up the Championship and back into the WSL.
Yeah, I think they've done well. They've recruited exceptionally well in this window. The window's just gone in the summer, and they'll probably do the same in January. And obviously, I'm aware. Obviously, I've coached with Charlotte, and I've worked with Charlotte before, the new manager. And all those players she has there now have either been in the WSL and proven, or they've been successful in their own individual careers. In Sophie Ingle, in Vicky Lasada, and you've got some really, really good players in their front line, young players who are trying to prove a point. So I know it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy. They're pushing the top end of that Championship. They've had a really good run now in the league, and they'll want to make sure that now they've had a very clear run into this game. They'll want to prove a point, and they'll want to make sure that there's a performance that they can knock us off track and probably derail us from moving on in this competition.
Thank you, George. Moving to questions on the online feed, we'll start with Helen.
Good, Helen, how are you?
Not too bad. So my first question is a really quick one. Has Lisa Cock got the mask off yet?
Yeah, she has to wear it for training as a precaution, and you have to wear it for a certain amount of time to make sure that she's protected first and foremost, and that she's comfortable and she feels some security. So yeah, she still wears that for training and for games in the near future now, and hopefully over a period of time we can remove that mask when Lisa makes the right progress.
Because I was going to give you a headline for free.
Yeah.
Batman and the Robin.
Fair play.
You can have that one for free. Because I saw she put a Batman thing on her social media.
Yeah, fair play.
The theme tune and everything. It was very funny. Anyway, so quickly, you just mentioned her briefly there, but Charlotte Healy, obviously you know her really, really well. You spent a lot of time with her at Man United. Can you tell me a little bit about her as a coach, a person, and what you expect from her kind of team?
Yeah, Charlotte I worked with her, as you said, at Manchester United for years while I was there, in a senior capacity and also in when we were in the academy. So I know Charlotte really well. That doesn't mean I know everything about her as a coach and what she's trying to do, but I know the way she sees football and the way she likes to play football, and she's got that job based on her hard work and her commitment to what she does. And I know that her team's going to be well organised. It's going to be very, very efficient in terms of with the ball. They like to play. They're very kind of direct and forward thinking, which is important. But also defensively, they're very resilient. They're very organised. They make it hard for you to break them down. And they've played maybe in 2 different systems throughout the season. So we have to be aware of that if they play a different system. But yeah, I expect a tough game. And Charlotte's a good coach, and she has good players and good staff around her. So we need to be as prepared as we are, and we take the game seriously.
And obviously, turning that around, she will know your kind of style as well. So have you got any sort of surprises up your sleeves?
Yeah, she'll know me as a person. Maybe my way of playing is probably different to when you're working as an assistant. You're coaching the principles and game model of a head coach who's in front of you, and maybe the way I think of football is slightly different. But she'll definitely have watched the games, which will give her an indication of what we're trying to do and how we try to do things. But she definitely knows how I think about football and the way I want my team to behave. So I have to make sure that we cause some problems, which we will do. We have, as you just said, we have some different problems for the solutions they will try and find. Yeah, and we've worked on some of those aspects over this week.
And my last question is, I know it'd be great if you can win this one and go through automatically, but I mean, this is usually the occasion for everyone to rotate their squads. So I'm guessing there'll be a few players we don't always see starting that you'll put there on Sunday.
I will always put the best team out, Alan. I think, yeah, maybe people see it as a competition to rotate, but I don't take any game and any competition lightly. I'm not here just to kind of take part and just kind of turn up and play a game, we win or we lose. And I want to make sure we build a winning culture. And what I feel is the right team to go out in this game, to win the game, I will put out. And if that includes changes or it doesn't include changes, it's what I feel is right for the game, right for the game plan. And yeah, if opportunity presents itself within the game to start or coming into the game, yeah, I'll give those players the opportunity when it's right.
Brilliant. I hope it's a good match.
Thank you.
Chris Cowling.
Hi Martin, it was nice to see a huge smile on your face on Sunday. It's probably the happiest we've seen you after a game. How important is it that you, and especially the players, enjoy moments like that so you can get your message across that you can, the Spurs women can compete with the very, very best week in, week out?
Yeah, I'd like to think I smile a bit more, but maybe I don't, Chris. So maybe I need to work on that a little bit. No, I was delighted more for the players and the staff behind me. I get a lot of support from them, and they do a lot of the work. The players work tirelessly every week, and then for the fans at the same time, because yeah, we need to give them more moments where they can they can feel like they can lift us. We need to give them more moments they can celebrate. Yeah, and it maybe to some people it's like, well, you drew the game. Yes, we drew the game, but if you look from where this team was 3 to 4 months ago, it was totally different. And actually, it takes a lot for the players psychologically to overcome some of these moments. And there was probably a lot of pressure on the players going into the game. As everyone alluded to, we'd done well in pre-season. We hadn't performed in the London City game. Everyone wants us to perform at a North London derby. So I knew there was going to be some sort of pressure on the group to deliver, but we tried to remove that and take the emotion out of the game and just perform. And I think the players made a good account of themselves. If I'm looking at the group now and saying in 4 months' time and that performance is there, I'd be absolutely delighted, because it shows progress. It shows a real commitment to the badge in the club, which is important to me. And there was a lot of passion in that performance, and I seen levels in certain individuals that I haven't seen before, and that was really nice to see. But it was just a good moment for me to be able to, and the players to give something to the fans and the staff who do a lot of the work.
So you can see a lot of individuals being a lot more confident now than when you first came in.
Yeah, totally, and that takes time. You can't get confidence at the click of a finger, Chris, as you know. It takes time, and once a player and any individual in any walk of life, you make one error or you make one mistake, and you think you're at rock bottom straight away. So confidence takes time, and confidence, in my opinion, comes in different ways. It's either through performance, it's through action, it's through your own belief. And I'd like to think the players now, with what they're doing and how they're performing, there's been a bit of inconsistency in certain moments, but over the course of the period we've just had now and going into that game, I feel we were deserving of taking something from that game.
Martin, how important is this competition to you and the football club?
Yeah, really important. I don't go into any competition, Chris, thinking, we can just kind of change the team or rotate and the competition doesn't matter. Every competition matters to me, because I'm a serial winner. I want to win. I don't want to lose, and I want to make sure that what I do is, first and foremost, I respect the opposition. And just by rotating your team, how much do you show that? Actually, do you know what? I respect any team we play against, and if I feel they're a good team, I'm going to put the best team out to win the game. And I always do that, and the players know that. I won't just rotate for the sake of rotating. The team that I feel wins the game will play. And actually then what you do is you build more competition within. And once you build competition within, there becomes a bigger respect and a bigger belief. And actually you can take the right steps moving forward. And we have to continue to do that if we want to be the best team that competes at the top of the table.
Lastly, of course, you played the North London derby last weekend. The men have got the North London derby away at the Emirates on Sunday. Were you watching the game on the way back from Bristol?
Too right, I will be here. I watch all of the men's games. I get to a lot of them. I have so much time for Thomas and his staff and the players. We connect quite closely and we talk a lot. So no, I hope they go and do the job, and I have no doubts they go into that game with confidence. They're in a really good position in the league, and I think they'll go into that game with the belief and confidence they can get a result. I definitely think that.
Best of luck. Thanks, Martin.
Thank you, Chris.
That's Chris. Dan Pentland.
How are you? Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. I just wanted to come back to Charlotte. I just wonder, from working with her previously, what's kind of the biggest thing she's taught you, and then the other way around, kind of, what's the biggest thing you kind of think you made, and you can kind of make an impact on her career?
I think we've been very supportive of one another. We've always been there when one of us need to lift one another, we've done it. When we've need to give each other advice, we've done it. We work very closely at Manchester United together, on the pitch. So around the technical and tactical aspects of the game, we've done so much together. We've always been trying to support one another, enhance each other's development and football knowledge, but at the same time try to always be honest with one another of where I feel I'm at, she feels she's at, and then how can we help each other take the right steps. And I was delighted when I seen her, she got the job, because she's worked tirelessly hard in the clubs I've been at before too. She was at Liverpool, she's been at Manchester United, now she's took a step into management. So I support her. If she asked for any advice, she would always get it.
Obviously, Olivia Hall's played a big role in the last Subway Women's League Cup game. Obviously 2 goals, and I think she got an assist as well. So how good she been to work with, and obviously she's pretty early into her kind of career in England. How good can she be in the long term?
Yeah, important for the team, as well as every other player is important to me. Olivia's just one of those players who has something maybe a little bit different. She's more of a maverick, and can create something from nothing, if you want to say. But yeah, technically very, very gifted and talented. Tactically very astute in terms of what she sees and what she doesn't see on the pitch. Her vision is outstanding. But the way she handles the ball, she draws pressure a lot. She entices players in terms of in moments to create space in and around them for other people. But she's been a real force for us going forward, and she's created numerous opportunities and numerous chances for this group, as well as herself. And we have to make sure that we continue to help her evolve and develop. And yeah, I have so much respect and belief in Ollie, and I hope she can continue to do that now when she goes away with the national team and she gets that recognition she deserves and the opportunities, because yeah, she's a wonderful talent and has so much ability, and I think she's got so much more to show also.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Dan Martin. Best of luck for the weekend.
Cheers, Dan. Take care.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Liverpool's good. I know, obviously, no manager's going to be in a competition and say they don't want to win it. But what, just picking up on what Chris was saying, what kind of difference would it make for Spurs to actually get the whole way and lift this trophy in this competition?
Huge. It'd be huge, Charlotte, in terms of the confidence and belief that you then realise you can compete at the top of these competitions at the latter stages. You can also, it brings a lot of belief and confidence into the club, the community, the fan base, also to the staff, the players, in terms of that they belong there, and that we believe we can do that more consistently and sustainably. And actually then as a club, you know that if we're willing to do the hard yards that we say we want to do, that no matter who it's against, if it's a final, if it's a semi-final, it's a quarter-final, if we can win these games, we put ourselves in a good position. And I'm really excited for this next game. And yeah, every competition, if it's this competition, the FA Cup, it's the league, it's the same for me. I want to make sure that winning breeds confidence, and confidence is very, very important in football. And if you have that confidence in football, you can go a long way. And these competitions can definitely give you that.
Do you kind of feel this competition is wrongly overlooked in some ways? You know, it's not really on the TV. There's so much coverage of the WSL now, but that's just not the same for this competition. It's got a different format. I won't dare put that there and try to get your format, but it is different, but it's often overlooked. Do you find that frustrating? Do you think more attention should be given to this League Cup?
Yeah, and I think probably a lot. I can only speak for myself, but I feel the competition, a lot of cup competitions in general, Charlotte's are overlooked, I feel. I think it's a real opportunity for maybe some clubs. I can only speak from what I feel. That's kind of an opportunity to rotate and change. And but actually, I'm really big on, if we're in these cup competitions, you want to win them and you want to be competitive in them. And actually, I look at it from a different perspective. It can propel your profile, your connection with a fan base, connection with supporters. It can enable people around you, especially supporters, to go and have a real big opportunity to go and be at a final, whether it's Wembley or another big ground. And then again, it builds confidence. It's good for your recruitment, your strategy. It builds massive belief in the individuals that you can compete at the top level. So there's so many factors I feel that it positively impacts, and that's why I'm so big in these competitions, that I make sure the team that goes out will be the team that I feel can win the game.
Yeah, but the TV companies don't sort of seem to feel the same as you. You know, there'll be one game on TV, often this Spurs and one Spurs player at home. It seems to be that for all the momentum women's football has got here in the media, this competition is overlooked. Yeah,
and I think, and that's probably a broadcasting commercially in terms of who's gonna take the rights for the games. And I've seen them before. They were maybe even right previously. They were on like YouTube channel and when it was Continental Tires Cup, so they were on YouTube. So there's been platforms it's been on. Maybe there might not be a lot of big interest in it, but actually I think us as a club and us as a club from our perspective, we want to make sure that we can provide that for the fans. And I think numerous of our games have been on Spurs Play, and I think that's a credit to the club for doing that, because we enable ourselves to put the games on for our fans. And I don't know if I'm saying it too early or not, but I think this one will be on Spurs Play if I'm right. And that should, again, enable our fans, which is the most important to me, is enable our fans to be in a position where they can watch our team and watch the team they support.
But for you, it is a sign of the club taking this seriously. Chris pointed out that now the men's North London derby this weekend. You got a great result in your North London derby. Have you given any tips and tricks to Thomas to try and get a semi good result for the men?
I can't give any tips to Thomas. He's well ahead of me. But no, I wish him all the best, and he does the same with me. We speak a lot. He's done a wonderful job here. He's in a really good position in the league. The team is doing well, and they go into a North London with confidence and belief that they can get a result, no doubt. And I have full support and full backing, and I'll be cheering them on the weekend.